Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a powerful story called Control Yourself. John stood in front of the cracked mirror for a long time. His heart was beating fast. The smiling reflection slowly disappeared. Now he could only see his normal face. John whispered to himself, "So, the darkness is part of me." The apartment was very quiet that night. Outside, the wind was blowing slowly. John sat on the chair and thought about the old man's words. Do not fight it. Learn to control it. For the first time, John was not afraid of the darkness inside him. But he also knew something important. If he lost control even once, everything could go wrong. The next morning, John went to work like every other day. But something felt different. While he was working, two of his colleagues started arguing loudly. The argument quickly became angry. John could feel the same strange energy rising inside him again. His hands became tight. The voice inside him whispered, "Let me take control." John closed his eyes for a moment. He took a deep breath. Slowly, the feeling disappeared. This time, John controlled it. That night when John came back home, he saw something strange again. The cracked mirror was not where he left it. It was now standing on the table. John walked closer. A new message had appeared on the mirror. It said, "Good, you are learning." John looked around quickly. "Who is doing this?" he asked. But there was no one in the room. Then the mirror showed something unexpected. In the mirror, John saw the same dark version of himself again. But this time, it was not smiling. It looked serious. The reflection spoke softly. "I am not your enemy." John felt shocked. "You are the reason for all my problems," he said. The reflection replied, "No, I am your power. Without me, you are weak." John stayed silent. Maybe the reflection was telling the truth. Chapter 9, Understanding. John slowly began to understand something important. The darkness inside him was not only anger. It was also courage, strength, and survival. If he used it wrongly, it could destroy everything. But if he controlled it wisely, it could protect people. John looked at his reflection and said, "We will work together, but I will be the one in control." For the first time, the reflection nodded. Chapter 10, The Real Control. 1 week later, John was walking home again at night. Suddenly he saw a man trying to rob an old woman. People nearby were afraid to help. John stepped forward. The darkness inside him woke up again. But this time, John guided it. He stopped the robber quickly and safely. The old woman thanked him with tears in her eyes. As John walked away, he felt calm. He finally understood the real meaning of the message. Control yourself. Because the strongest power in the world is not anger, it is self-control. One night, John woke up suddenly. It was midnight. The room was dark, but the cracked mirror was glowing faintly on the table. John slowly walked toward it. When he looked inside, he did not see only his reflection. He saw something shocking. Thousands of faces appeared behind him in the mirror, people fighting, shouting, losing control of their anger. John stepped back in fear. Then the dark version of himself appeared again. It said quietly, "Every human has this darkness. Most people never learn to control it. John asked, "Why are you showing me this?" The reflection replied, "Because you have learned something rare." John waited for the answer. Then the reflection said, "You learned to control yourself." John took a deep breath and looked at the mirror again. "Then why are you still here?" he asked. The reflection smiled slightly. "I will always be here," it said. Darkness never disappears. It only waits. John understood something very important at that moment. The battle inside him would never fully end. But that was not a weakness. It was a reminder. A reminder to stay aware, calm, and strong. John slowly placed the mirror back on the table and turned off the light. As he walked away, the reflection whispered one last sentence. The world is not controlled by the strongest people. It is controlled by the people who control themselves. And this time, John smiled, because he was no longer afraid.